From FOX54 Sports, this is Sports Extra Iron Bowl Special. Now your hosts, Mo Carter, Nick Kuzma, and Simon Williams.
Hey everyone, happy holidays to you as well. Welcome to our Iron Bowl 2024 special alongside Simon Williams and Nick Kuzma. I'm Mo Carter. And guys, are you ready for some Thanksgiving week football?
I am. Happy Iron Bowl week. I mean, this is a national holiday in the state of Alabama, right?
It's the 89th edition of this rivalry matchup. It's going to be so exciting to be down in Tuscaloosa for this game. Every year it builds with anticipation and excitement, no matter how good or bad the teams might be that year. But in the 12-team playoff era, something's on the line tonight.
Correct.
You know, it's funny. I think back, Simon, to our first Iron Bowl, and I think to how Mo brought us onto Sports Extra, and he told us about how great it was going to be and how we hadn't seen anything like it. We know a little something now, don't we?
A couple of years in, we've seen it now in Tuscaloosa and Auburn. We're back down to T-Town coming up.
Sure.
All right, everyone. Well, of course, we'll get you ready for this year's game. Let's take a look at what's on tap.
Another edition of the Iron Bowl means we've got to go all out with our preview special. We've got a loaded show, including breakdowns of each team's main units. Before we get to that, we look at what it means for each coach. It's Kalen DeBoer's first go-around with his new rival. And if you looked at his past stops, he's handled rivals pretty well. As for Hugh Freeze, this is a major opportunity to move the program forward, even if a slight step after what's been a second consecutive losing effort thus far. And with so much history in this series, we'll look back at some of the greatest moments, we'll give our picks, hear from some special guests, and so much more.
The 2023 edition of the Iron Bowl was one for the ages, and it left many devastated or elated at the end of it, as fans from both sides were impacted by the outcome. Starting with the winner, the Alabama Crimson Tide were down to their final play, 4th and goal from the 31-yard line. Jalen Milroe dropped back in the pocket and fired a prayer into the end zone, and it was answered by Isaiah Bond, who came down with the ball, giving the Tide the go-ahead score to win the 88th Iron Bowl. After the game, we heard from now Alabama former, that's weird to say, former Alabama head coach Nick Saban about that final play.
Every Friday, when we do walkthrough and we do special situations, we get in that formation. Everybody runs down the field and runs varying routes in the end zone. And, you know, Jalen made a great throw, but, you know, IB really kind of got himself in position where there was some room to throw it.
So for every winner, there's instant classic, there's got to be a loser, and it is also a heartbreaker. Auburn had the Crimson Tide on the ropes, one play away from the upset of the season. Instead, the Tigers got the ball back with about 30 seconds to go and allowed a sack, and then threw an interception to seal the loss. Now, after the game, head coach Hugh Freeze was asked about the Alabama touchdown on 4th and forever. He said he liked the defensive play call, which only allowed them to rush 2 players and drop back 8 in deep coverage.
I mean, you can second guess it. You just got to play with vision, and we got 9 guys back there, and just play with vision and make a play on the ball and knock it down. And, you know, he felt like he was shoved off, but I couldn't tell.
Even with a series steeped in history, each game has its own lore. This year's edition will be distinct, if for nothing else, and this is the first of Kalen DeBoer manning the sidelines for Alabama. Fair or not, a lot of the offseason chatter was about how does DeBoer adjust to the SEC after never having coached the geographic footprint before. While that might apply most to the ins and outs of recruiting, an important dynamic to the fans is understanding the significance of the rivalries. Now, if there's any doubt DeBoer's ability to handle a rivalry, just look at his resume.
Kalen DeBoer has gone from stop to stop, known as a winner. With a 104-12 record as a head coach coming into this season, it's well-deserved. But not every result is made the same. 3 of those 104 wins came in NAIA national championship games. One of them was in a Pac-12 title game. Another was in the college football playoff semifinal. And having one of your 12 career losses being a CFP national title game is about as good a loss as you could ever take. Of course, championships mean the most, but to fans, games against certain opponents measure your mettle. So ahead of DeBoer's first time in the Iron Bowl, let's look at how he's fared against those fatal foes. In 2 years at Washington, he swept Apple Cup rival Washington State and the border war against Oregon, including a Pac-12 championship game against the latter. In 2 years at Fresno State, he beat rival San Jose State in the lone battle for the Valley they played in 2021. And in 5 years at Sioux Falls, he went 9-1 against rivals Morningside and Northwestern, winning the last 9 in a row. So if I were you, I wouldn't doubt DeBoer.
Coming up next, we'll hear from the head coach of the Tigers. That's Hugh Freeze. He explains what he hopes the final weeks of the season looks like next on this Fox 54 Sports Extra special of the Iron Bowl. But first, let's take a look at our first Iron Bowl memory.
In 2009, second-ranked Alabama entered Jordan-Hare Stadium undefeated, and the Auburn Tigers had upset on their mind. In the third quarter, Auburn seemed to pull away when Chris Todd found a streaking Darwin Adams on a 72-yard touchdown to give the Auburn Tigers a third-quarter lead. But late in the fourth quarter, Greg McElroy led Alabama down the field on a 15-play, 79-yard drive that was capped off by a Roy Upchurch touchdown. Alabama would win 26-21. The following week, they would throttle Florida for the SEC title and defeat Texas in the BCS title game.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree.
Right now, all over the country, kids at Shriners Hospitals for Children are able to go home and be with their families for the holidays. And that's only possible because of the monthly donations from people like you.
Thanks to a generous donor, every dollar you give will go 3 times as far to help more kids.
With your gift of just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you, and a reminder of the care you'll be providing so kids can be with their families.
Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. It only takes a moment to call the number on your screen, or you can visit loveshriners.org.
Your gift of $19 a month will have 3 times the impact in the lives of kids like me.
Because every child just wants to be home for the holidays, and your gift makes that possible.
Your call is the best gift of all.
Your gift will be my favorite Christmas present this year. Please call the number on your screen or go to loveshriners.org to give whatever you can.
And when you become a monthly donor, your first gift will be tripled.
Thank you for giving.
Stream the Kalen DeBoer Show anytime on Fox 54 Plus.
All right, welcome back. We have heard from Alabama's head coach. Now let's turn our attention to Auburn. The 2024 season, no doubt, has been a struggle at times for the Tigers. Auburn hoped to get off to a fast start, opening the year with 5 consecutive home games at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Instead, the team went 2-3 during that stretch, with the Tigers' lone wins coming against Group of 5 opponent New Mexico and Alabama A&M. Now Auburn has the chance to finish the season by shocking the country and knocking off the Crimson Tide. Earlier this month, Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze talked about what he hoped the back end of the season would look like.
I think it's vital that we compete, and that's the expectation, and certainly that's the goal, and give our chance to win these football games against good football teams that we have to play to help build momentum, as you say, and confidence in everybody that we're headed in the right direction regardless of the record. And then recruiting is big too, to trying to finish strong and continue to get the 25 class to understand we're not far off and we need their help.
Alabama's offense with Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan's scheme is amped. Quarterback Jalen Milroe has shined as a versatile threat. He's averaging a hair over 223 yards per game in the air and 60 gained on the ground. He's making defenses account for him on every play. And with the defense having to have eyes on a moving target at quarterback, that allows the receivers just enough more room to work. The Crimson Tide offense comes into Week 12 with 13.6 yards per completion. That's the 9th highest rate in the country. Funnily enough, Auburn is 2 spots ahead of them in that category. But if you account for the Tide's ability to gain ground so effectively and convert those yards into points, they're elite. With 2 games to play in the regular season, Alabama was the 8th highest scoring team in the country and the 47th best at generating first downs. Recently, offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan shared what makes his unit work so well.
It's something that we consider in our offense, the variety of routes and concepts that we want to make sure that we use each and every week. The different route tree that each group of players, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, that we ask them to do is certainly big, and they've handled it well. Yeah, Jam was certainly impactful in the game, just as has been in the past. Their ability to come out of the backfield and catch the football is certainly, it makes it easier for the quarterback. It makes it harder to defend for us offensively, and something that we'll always incorporate in our offense.
Now, the Auburn defense will have its hands full when they take on Jalen Milroe and that Alabama offense. The Crimson Tide are averaging an astounding 438 yards of total offense, which ranks in the top 5 in the Southeastern Conference. But Auburn's defense isn't a slouch. DJ Durkin's bunch is ranked 3rd overall in total defense. According to Jalen McLeod and Jaron Thompson, the Auburn defense will be ready to contend with Big Bad Bama and try to shut them down if they can as well.
Oh, they're a good run team. They want to run the ball. They huge up front, so they even their tight ends huge. So they want to establish that run early, and we just got to stop that. We a good run stopping team, so it's a great run offense versus a great run stopping defense, and we'll see who wins.
Throughout the season, we kind of started to understand what we needed to accomplish as a defense, and we just stick to our keys and just keep doing that with coaching and keep practicing well and the way we need to, and things should work out right.
Time for our second break of the show. We heard from the Alabama offense and Auburn defense, and next we hear from the units they will be competing against in the 89th Iron Bowl. Now let's go back to the early 90s when a Town Creek native stole the show.
On Thanksgiving Day in 1992, Alabama's 20-game win streak and number 2 ranking were both hanging in the balance of a scoreless game with Auburn. The Tide needed a spark in the 3rd quarter, and they got it from All-American Antonio Langham.
Play action pass picked off by Alabama. It was intended for Parker. It could go all the way down to the near sideline. Antonio Langham to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Alabama!
That victory propelled Alabama to wins in the SEC title game and national championship.
Hi, I'm Susan Lucci. You may know me from my many years on television. I never thought about heart disease until I had my own heart event. I felt this slight pressure on my chest, just slight. I thought, oh, it's nothing, it'll go away. I didn't get it. I did not get it. But a few days later, while shopping at a boutique, that pressure returned, much stronger. It felt like an elephant pressing on my chest. I had a 90% blockage in my main artery and a 75% blockage in the adjacent artery. I was rushed into surgery where I received 2 stents in my arteries. Stents developed through research funded by the American Heart Association. Those stents saved my life. That's why I'm in front of you today, asking you to join me in supporting the American Heart Association by becoming a monthly donor. Call now or go to helpheart.org. For only $19 a month, just 63 cents a day, you can help fund the next medical breakthrough. Get the next person trained in CPR, the next hospital certified in high-quality cardiovascular care. I'm so grateful to the American Heart Association. Their research helped save my life. I can enjoy life with my children, my grandchildren, and my friends. Heart disease is America's #1 killer, and your support now can help save your life or the life of someone you love. Give $19 a month with your credit card, and we'll send you this special t-shirt that you can wear to show that you are helping save lives. Please, listen to your heart. The only reason I'm here today is because I did. So please call the number on your screen or go to helpheart.org now. Join me as a monthly donor today and help save even more lives. Thank you.
Watch Fox 54 News at 5:30 with Kanisha Dees.
Going into this season, Hugh Freeze talked often about how much his offense needed better playmakers around quarterback Peyton Thorne. In comes freshman Cam Coleman and senior transfer Keandre Lambert-Smith at receiver, and they've elevated the play of the passing game. Coleman has become an explosive play waiting to happen. He's had 4 games with over 50 yards receiving, including a breakthrough 8-catch, 100-yard score night against Louisiana Monroe. Meanwhile, Lambert-Smith has been used with higher frequency. He's had at least 2 catches every game this season, averaging double-digit yards per catch in every game but 1, and he's racked up 8 touchdowns heading into the last 2 weeks of the year. Lambert Smith talked about how showing up big in big games is why he came to Auburn.
I feel like I'm around a group of guys who, push me, especially the younger guys. And then just Coach Davis and Coach Mo, Coach Heath, I feel like they put a lot of trust in me. So, I feel like it's just all allowed my confidence to be where it should have been. And I'm not doing nothing spectacular. I feel like this is the player I've always been. And I still feel like there's more on the table. What do they say? The best is yet to come. It sounds real cliche, but that's how I feel, honestly. So just been capitalizing on all the opportunities, trying to do my best to, lead the young guys and help the team win.
As for the Alabama defense that the Tigers offense will be facing on Saturday, it's been an interesting year to say the least. Defensive coordinator Kane Womack got some of the most intense fan criticism following the Tide's losses to Vanderbilt and Tennessee, with some fans even calling for his job. In those losses, UA just couldn't find a way to get stops on third down. But how did Alabama respond to the immediate aftermath of the loss on Rocky Top? A shutout over ranked Missouri, and then they allowed just 20 total points against LSU and Mercer combined in the 2 weeks that followed.
The challenge, right, is when somebody's doing something well against you, how do you still find a way to stop what they're doing and yet still be aggressive so that you can create takeaways and get off the field on third down? And, quite honestly, I would say, I have gotten better and better as a season. I've probably knocked some of the rust off, as we've gone through the season. And I think that's what everybody in the building has to do. I think, you either get better or you get worse. And I think step by step as a football team, we're getting better, and that includes me as a play caller and a defensive coordinator.
All right, everyone, we're joined now by Luke Robinson from the Locked On Bama podcast. Luke, always appreciate you, my friend. Can't believe football season is literally almost ending, but for a team like Alabama, they're trying to extend their season, and getting a win in the Iron Bowl will probably definitely help that, right?
Oh, there's no doubt. Look, the Iron Bowl is big every year, no matter what's on the line. There have been times when both teams just aren't very good, and some of those have been the better games. I mean, it's just the most heated and, in my opinion, the most important rivalry in all of college football. I believe Auburn's going to give it everything they have. They're a more talented team than their record suggests. They've got some pieces. It just hadn't gelled quite yet. And meanwhile, I think Alabama, though, in Tuscaloosa is probably too tough for the Tigers this particular time. But, Hugh Freeze is doing some good things, and Auburn's beginning to close that talent gap.
Now, when you look at the University of Alabama, first-year head coach, Kalen DeBoer, done some good things, but clearly he's never been in a game like this. I'm pretty sure Washington State gave him a run for his money or whatever when he was at UW. But, this Alabama-Auburn thing, what is he stepping into that he's probably been told by various people that are surrounding him in Tuscaloosa?
He's had a bit of a primer in the sense that he's been to Tennessee, and that was a raucous crowd that was against him. He's also had a bit of a primer, in the sense that he played Georgia at home, and I went to that game. That's one of the best environments I've ever been in any college football game, not just in Bryant-Denny. It was just electric. So I think he will have a bit of a feel for it. But the Iron Bowl is different. There is a disdain for each respective team coming from both sides, and no matter where you are. And I know that it's not necessarily the ugliest rivalry there is. I think for the most part, people are respectful. Harvey Updike being a glaring exception. But I think, it still is a heated rivalry, and it does bring a different presence to the field that obviously he's not going to be able to go back on memory and recreate that from any of his time at Washington or Fresno State, anything like that. This is different, and it's going to be different. But that said, I think history has shown the better team usually does come out on top in this contest. So, again, I'm going to go with Alabama here, and I feel like Kalen DeBoer is going to get a good taste of this. I'll tell you, as an Alabama fan, I'm very happy that he's getting his first taste of the Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa versus being in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I think that does make a difference. Look, Saban lost his first Iron Bowl, if you remember, back in 2007, and that was in Jordan-Hare.
Thank you so much, Luke, for dropping some of that knowledge about the Iron Bowl and your impact with it and whatnot. Of course, we'll all be glued in this Saturday for another great edition of the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn. That'll wrap things up right here with Luke Robinson of the Locked On Bama podcast. You can check him out via our website or also on FOX54 Plus. We'll be right back with more of our Iron Bowl special.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it.
As soon as I called Tyler Mann, from the beginning, I was just very comfortable. He eased all my stresses and fears.
Tyler always was open and honest, and he was always just straightforward.
I called Tyler Mann in his office. They handled everything from the insurance and the medical bills.
He did what was right, not what was just easy. He just dug in, and I just can't say enough wonderful things about him and his firm.
I am so glad I called Tyler Mann.
After a car wreck, I'm your man.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a rugged new Passport, Pilot with available all-wheel drive, and the powerful Ridgeline. So don't wait. Turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
FOX54 and Redstone MWR welcome you to ring in the holidays with Winterville, December 7th and 8th at the Redstone Arsenal Activity Field. It's free to attend and open to the public. Enter through Gate 10 on Patton Road South.
Watch Fox 54 News at 5:30 with Kanisha Dees.
In 2010, Auburn's national title hopes were hanging in the balance as they entered the Iron Bowl against arch rival Alabama. Behind a potent offense that was led by Mark Ingram, the Crimson Tide jumped out to a 24-0 lead. But future Heisman Trophy winner Cam Newton remained calm and led the Tigers to a second-half comeback for the ages. Newton's comeback was complete on this play.
Cam takes the snap, looking for the receiver. He's got Lutsen Kirkin. Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn! Lutsen Kirkin!
Auburn will win 28-27 in the game known as the Comeback. Weeks later, they would beat Oregon in the BCS title game and claim the national championship.
All right, hope you've been enjoying those Iron Bowl memories of years past, whether you're a young Iron Bowl fan or a old Iron Bowl fan with many, many memories through the year. Guys, you're building up some memories now through the years.
Yes, we are. I mean, our first Iron Bowl was back in 2022, and I'll never forget Auburn marching down the field early in that game, and we thought for a split second, whoa, do we have, the upset, as Alabama then eventually went on. They didn't make the College Football Playoff, but blew out Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. And then last year, obviously, we did think it was over, fourth and forever. And then Greg Dare happened. So, memories.
You never know what you're going to see in this game. It's really, truly one of the unique rivalries across sports where no matter the record, no matter the standing, there's going to be a moment in this game that was unexpected.
It was Grave Digger.
And even the last 2 years where Alabama came into the game as the definitively superior opponent and Auburn was not in the playoff hunt, they still made it a game. Because they're Division I players too, and they also know that this rivalry means something to them as well.
Kick 6 was my first year, 2013.
Wow, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I was getting ready for my post-game show, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, the kick is going short. And then I saw Chris Davis coming down. I'm like, Davis, he's about to score. And I'm like, okay.
Because they said Auburn's going to win the football game.
Yeah, I was saying in my mind, I'm like, okay, Auburn's going to Atlanta that week. Because the whole mindset was the winner was going to Atlanta to represent the West Division. Who knows that it ended up being Auburn compared to Alabama getting ready to try to defend their back-to-back titles and go for 3 straight. So it's always a crazy year. But then Alabama got the revenge next year. Derrick Henry went wild in the highest scoring Iron Bowl ever to date, and I think we were out of Tuscaloosa at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
So I guess that leads us to this year. With what do we think is going to happen this year?
So I'm going to go ahead and go with this. I think Alabama is going to start slow. I think Auburn's going to really have a lot of adrenaline pumping through their veins or whatever to kind of get them in bad situations. Eventually, Jalen Milroe is going to really get things going. That's going to crank up the Alabama defense. And if they have performances like they had against Mercer, against LSU, and also against Missouri, it could be a very long day for Hugh Freeze and that offense, especially if they're getting the Tigers go 3 and out, and also not just converting on certain downs, but having bad field position as well, and giving the Alabama offense short fields to play with.
So you're definitely picking Alabama.
Yeah, I like Alabama.
Like by a score or two, something like that?
I'll give them at least 18, plus 18 on this one.
Plus 18?
Yeah, they're at home, man.
It's gonna be a blowout. Yeah, no, I always love talking to Alabama fans, and they always talk about how there's some weird juju at Jordan-Hare. They don't got to worry about this. I'm also going to take Alabama.
Yeah, I think it's a 17-point win at least for Alabama. I can see how this is going to be sticky somewhere in this game. It's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit because both these offenses we talked about, they like to throw the ball down the field and are very good at getting it to their big play receivers. So there's going to be a few drives where someone makes a big gain and then it's going to feel like a big momentum play, but then maybe 2 drives later, a pick, a fumble, an interception that leads to a pick six maybe, or a big streaky score touchdown. Might lead to the true decisive result. I like Alabama by 17.
And I mentioned, last couple of weeks, we started to see this Alabama defense kind of look like the defenses of the Nick Saban days, getting the turnovers, giving the offense good field position, and then just being powerful in the trenches, and that makes the game easier for Jalen Milroe in many ways.
Yeah, it felt like after they lost to Tennessee, it sort of was like, woe is Alabama. Maybe this truly is the end of their year. But then I feel like they learned something about themselves heading into the LSU game, and it was obviously just total domination in horrible conditions. Jalen Milroe turned out to be that dude that we all thought he could be.
And you were there to see it all.
That's true, and I got very wet in that game as well. It was pouring rain. But I think Jalen Milroe can be that dude again in this game. He was last year. He's certainly going to be this year too.
Might be a Heisman statement kind of performance, maybe?
Maybe.
Possibly. It'd be right in front of a national television audience. And, of course, there's still some inner workings on if they can get to the SEC championship. And if so, they'll have another game to really, really add to that resume. Heisman race is still wide open.
That's what I said early on. With a 12-team playoff, with Alabama's positioning, and even though Auburn's out of the hunt, there's an SEC championship on the line, a college football playoff appearance on the line, bowl eligibility for Auburn maybe, individual performances like a Heisman Trophy, and legacies. There's something to take away from this game. There's going to be a moment that we have an Iron Bowl memory of one of these shows coming up.
That's true.
No, I think you are totally right on that one. And hey, that's why they play the game, right? To make the memories and to get the victories.
And to get a Fox 54 special about it.
It's true.
That is true. A Fox 54 special you're watching right here on Fox 54 and on Fox 54 Plus. The 2024 Iron Bowl will kick off from Bryant-Denny Stadium at 2:30 p.m. We will have your highlights after the game on Fox 54 and a complete recap on Sunday on Fox 54 Sports Extra. Of course, you can watch anywhere, fox54.com, along with the Fox 54 Plus app. And of course, all those things are available on mobile devices. Just hit your app store. You have that, right?
I do.
And on your TVs too.
Oh,
of course.
I'm always locked in on the Roku app.
Good deal, good deal. All right, everyone, for Simon Williams and Nick Kuzma, I'm Mo Carter. Have yourself a great rest of your evening, a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Iron Bowl. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching this special edition of Fox 54 Sports Extra.